Welcome into another episode of the 2022 MLB Draft Show, and we're bringing back more fire this week. We're going with shortstops, and we're going with Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers, my favorite mascot in D1 or colleges, if you will, the Chanticleers. Nobody knows what a Chanticleer is. It's like a rooster, isn't it, Eric?
Yeah, it's I forgot what they call it, but it's like medieval times. That's where they got it from.
It's like a big old beefy bird, though. I know that.
Right,
Anyways,
right.
Eric Brown, shortstop, Coastal Carolina, one of the stars of the Cape Cod League, and one of the stars of college baseball in 2021. Eric, welcome to the show, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let's just jump right into it. So, my first question every single week with our guests is just, who are you, man? Introduce yourself to the crowd. Tell us a little bit about the type of player that you are on the dirt, in the box, and then why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are off the field, what sorts of hobbies that you have, what sorts of things you like to do in your spare time.
I mean, like you said, my name's Eric Brown, and I'm just a I would like to say I'm a gritty baseball player, the one that's always just willing to get dirty and dive. And if I don't leave the baseball field without dirt on my pants, then I just feel like a failure. So I mean, it's all about being gritty and just trying to take every inch because baseball is a game of inches, so it's just trying to take every inch. And then, I mean, in the box, I like to have the little Juan Soto like mindset in my head. You see Juan Soto go up there, and he has a uh, kind of like a just a stare down with the pitcher. And so, like, I try to use that mentality, but as hitting like aspects, I try to go like more towards like a Mookie Betts or like a Mitch Haniger, like those type of hitters, just because I feel like they like all fit well with how I like to hit. Defensive side, I like to look like I like to try to be Jose Iglesias or Javier Baez. They're both Javier Baez has the flashy side of things, which I like, and then Jose Iglesias has all the arm angles. Uh, and then some hobbies I like to do outside of baseball. I like to go hunting and fish with my dad. That's something we just do other than baseball. I mean, if I'm not hunting and fishing, then I'm at the baseball field. So I just try to keep my life very simple.
I like it, man. Gritty. Gritty on the dirt. Definitely putting in yeoman's work on the field. I think that'll appeal to a lot of big league fans, big league scouts. I want to talk first with I want to talk about your defense first and foremost, because the bat, we'll talk about the bat. It's got the thunder. It's got all the things that will kind of lead to success down the line. But on the Cape, I mean, a lot of evaluators consider Eric Brown one of the, if not the best defender in the league. You can get to any ball to your left, to your right. You've got a huge arm, good enough to make all the plays. Kind of tell me about your upbringing on defense. How did you become such a defensive wizard, and how much pride do you take in that?
Oh, I take a lot of pride in my defense, and my whole goal and my whole mindset. Well, first going into college was I know it wasn't possible. I'm gonna make mistakes, but my whole mindset was I'm not gonna make a single error through my whole college career. And I think my freshman year I had one, and last year I had seven. So it was like I try to take as much pride into my defense as much as any part of my game is because I like to say that the glove never slumps. So like your bat is always gonna slump, and like you're gonna go through ups and downs with your bat, but the glove has to be your steadfast, and that just never changes. So I really take pride in taking ground balls. Like when I was in high school, I took probably 200 to 300 ground balls a day with my like fielding coach back home. So, and I don't get as much workout here at college, but I still probably take around 100 ground balls a day. So like my glove is my pride and joy.
Where do you get your mindset from? Because you seem to have a really advanced, mature kind of, I guess you look at everything on a macro level. You don't have to zone in on one play to kind of define your night. It seems like you're very process oriented. Where did that come from? Kind of, was there someone specifically that was instrumental in your upbringing that's kind of instilled who you are today?
My dad has really been. My dad was 23 years in the military, and also my mom was also like huge on that. She just helped me through the whole process. But really, it's just really leaning on my faith. Really, that's what I really leaned on, and it was just my walk with Christ and understanding that like things are going to happen, and it's all part of His plan. And just my whole baseball journey, it was all a process, and things didn't happen as fast as I wanted them to happen. And so it's just like really just learning to work while you wait is what like we like to say back home is like work while you wait. Things aren't going to happen all of a sudden, so you just put your head down and work until they do happen.
I dig that. All right, so this is going to be year 3 for you at Coastal Carolina, your first draft eligible year in college, coming off a really successful outing with Katuitt on the Cape. So I mean, you've really improved at every stop. You're a 259 hitter as a freshman, 294 last year, 282 at the Cape. You hit 5 home runs. The power is really starting to come on, and you're not striking out at all. I mean, you're keeping the strikeout rates really low. What's your process in the plate, or what's your process in the box? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you waiting for your pitch? Are you trying to kind of ambush, attack? Kind of what's your mindset as you go into an at bat?
Well, I've kind of really had to develop a mindset, like go get it mindset, where it's people look at my stance and they're like, "Wow, that's unique and that's like that's unordinary." So like they try to attack me. They think since my hands are held high and they're like, he can't get to the inside fastball. And like what a lot of people don't understand and fail to realize that when I go to load my hands, I load well. First of all, I load early enough to doesn't matter what you throw, you can quick pitch me. I load early enough to like read the pitch. So like when I go to load, it's like my hands go from here to here, and before you even release the ball, I'm in the same spot as everybody else. And people don't really see that; they just see the where I start, and they don't see
The
the whole
noise.
in between. Listen, right? And so, I mean, what I tell myself every time I step in the box, it's load slow, load early, and give yourself time. So that's just me. I saw the change that Bryce Harper made this year was he really slowed the game down himself, and he ended up batting like 330 this year. And I was like, why? How did he do that? And you just go and look at his swings over the past 3 years, and his swing has just slowly changed to where it's more controlled. And I see like a lot of major leaguers doing that, where it's just a slow, controlled swing. So you load early, so you give yourself time to just. So when you're just loaded, all you have to do is recognize the pitch. You recognize the pitch, and now it's time to do damage.
Oh, there's an interesting kind of dichotomy there because on one hand, you want to slow things down, you want to get barrel to ball, you want to make it easy, but on the other hand, you want to hit the ball hard, you want to create those exit velos, you want to impact the game. Do you find yourself kind of floating somewhere in the middle of those two mindsets, or is it just, I'm a big, strong kid, I'm going to hit the ball hard, I don't have to worry about that, just barrel it up and let the bat do the rest?
Right. I mean, I try to keep it simple as much as I can. That's why I just like there's a whole hitting philosophy that I go with, and like there's a whole like mindset that I haven't like explained to like many people yet. So just to break it down and keep it simple, I just tell myself to load slow, load early, and drive the baseball. Because if you tell your mind to know, if you tell your mind what to do, then your mind's going to do it. But if you go up there with no plan and your mind is just up there wondering and like 100 different things, your body's going to do whatever like it wants to do.
You listed off a lot of players in terms of who you want to be like at the plate and who you want to be like on the dirt. But I'm wondering if there has been a player that you watched during your come up or recently that you kind of model your game after, or you really appreciate their style of play. Like, is there a guy that you want to not necessarily become, but kind of maybe idolize isn't the right word, but you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, like I said, the hitting wise, like I really don't have a all around player for my position. I mean,
Hmm.
Tatis would be like I guess you could say the flashy, the powerful, and but like he makes too many errors with his glove, so it's like it's very hard to find the all around player. So I picked just one for each position. And hitting wise, it's probably Mookie Betts, and then is my go to like that's who I really want to focus on, and then defensive wise, probably Jose Iglesias.
Love that, man. I love you can get a million guys on this show and you can get 100 guys to say Fernando Tatis, but I think it takes a special process and a special mindset to call out that he may be a great player, but he's got work to do on defense. And
Right.
it really shows that I think that's a big priority for you. Um, how much do you jump into tech at Coastal Carolina? I mean, are you guys using the blast motion? Are you using the TrackMan? Are you using the hit tracks, the K-Vest? Like all of that stuff is available, but for some people it can really paralyze them and their mindset. Is it something that you like to dabble with, or do you kind of keep it more feel?
I really don't like to like get into all of that. I feel like the numbers are for the people that deal with numbers, and for me, it's just really about feel. And if you go up there and you're feeling good, you're gonna play good. And if you're not feeling good, then you're not gonna play good. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just about feel for me. And if you get too wrapped up in the numbers, then you're gonna be trying to change your swing to hit the number instead of trying to hit the baseball. So it's like you can get caught up in the wrong thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the Cape because you had a big summer. I think you hit like 285, 5 or 6 home runs, one of the better players on the Cape. But there was a lot of good shortstops. Ryan Ritter was on Katuitt with you. Zach
Right.
Neto was one of the best players out there. And there was, a ton of other guys that were out there. Who was the most impressive to you? I mean, obviously Ryan Ritter was your teammate, but you got to play against a lot of good infielders. Did anybody stick out?
Are you talking about defense or hitting wise? Because I mean, there's two different
Both. Just the
sides of
whole
it.
just the whole package.
The whole package. I would have to tip my cap to Zach Neto. He really stood out, and it really sucked that we kind of released him because I actually thought he was a really
Mhm.
good player, and I mean it just adds to his story. So I mean that just really helped him out, and that allowed him to become the player and show off his grit. So I mean, he really impressed me this summer.
Zach's got a pretty noisy setup too. He's got a lot of moving parts. Did you guys ever talk about that on the Cape?
We did a little bit, but as I said, we didn't get to stay like on the same team as long. But I
Yeah.
mean, he definitely has a process behind his swing. I don't think many people know about his process yet, but they're starting to like find out now.
No, he's just like you. I mean, he gets into the right spot with the foot down. So, all right. So, only a couple more questions here. I wanted to talk a little bit about this winter going forward. Spring 2022 is a big opportunity for you at Coastal Carolina. What sorts of things are you focusing on this winter? Where are you trying to improve so you can really, I guess, bring out the best of yourself next season?
Uh, the one thing I'm really trying to improve on is my consistency with the bat, where I hit for a higher average, but also I really focused on it this summer was my base stealing. I feel like that's a side of the game that really nobody works on. Everybody's trying to work on. Let's see how many home runs I can hit. I just want to like be an all around baseball player, and so like working with Coach Roberts. Coach Roberts is a man of a lot of wisdom, and some of the stuff he teaches is a little off the wall and a little unordinary. But if you really dive into it and like try to make it your own, you can. That man really has a bunch of knowledge that you can learn from. And so like I really took this summer to really focus on my base stealing, and I really brought it to Coastal, and they've actually liked some of the stuff that he taught me. And so I mean, really just working on my base stealing.
5 to a player in 2022. Book it, Eric Brown. All right, man. So these last few questions, we like to keep it a little bit silly, kind of get off the baseball field, if you will, kind of keep you on your toes. I'm going to have these focus on the Cape. You seem like a guy that knows how to hit the field, look good, play good, bring a little bit of drip to the dirt. So I got to ask, scale of 1 to 10, Eric, how would you rate your drip on the baseball diamond?
Uh, you got to give a confident answer. So I go about a 9.5. I think I'm missing a few things, but I think I'm missing a few things, but it's still it's coming up.
All right, there's two other parts of this. Who had the best drip on the Cape? It can be any team.
The best drip, like as a whole team or as a player.
No, no, no. Just one guy, one player. One player that you saw him on the field and you're like, dang, he's really going all out. He's a little extra.
Ooh, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Like, there's nobody that really stuck out. It was just, uh, can I go a player here at Coastal?
Let's do it.
All right, player here at Coastal. I'd have to give it to this kid Nick Lucky. He can wear anything and make it work on the baseball field. And you're like, that looks silly, but he can rock it. And you're just like, what in the world?
Nice. All right. So you knew that there was going to be a second part to that question, and we'll go back to the Cape just because it's a good opportunity for you to rag on someone who had the worst drip on the Cape. And I mean, maybe you want to go with someone from Katuitt because you played with them every
All
day.
right, worst drip, worst drip. Okay, let me think. I have to give that one to Andy Garriola. I don't know. He goes to Old Dominion. Man, that man would go no sleeves. He would go no tape, and he would just sometimes I think he went up there with no batting gloves, and I'm like, you're a menace. So I was like, that's impressive.
You're just going up there chopping at wood.
Yeah, exactly,
I thought
exactly.
for sure you were going to go with Dylan Beavers. We just interviewed Dylan last week, and I don't know. I think he's got more personality and flair on the baseball field
He
than we give
does,
him credit
and
for.
he has a little bit of sneaky drip too. And like Beeves, we call him Beeves. He'll go no sleeves and no like tape or anything, and he can kind of pull it off. But Andy Garriola cannot pull it off at all.
All right, man. Last question. I don't know if you've prepared for this, but it's our staple at every show. What's the dumbest fact that you know about literally anything in this world that not a lot of people know?
The dumbest fact. All right. Uh, I would have to say, did you know that driving is just like dodgeball? You just have to like miss every other car. Just think about it that way.
What?
Yeah, think about it. Think about
I am never driving with you anywhere, bro.
it. Think about it. Driving is just like
You just
dodgeball.
said a successful drive is just missing every other car.
Exactly. That's a fact, though. Am I right?
See, now I'm really starting to understand how you simplify things on the baseball field. You might play dangerous, but it works out.
Exactly. Exactly.
I like it, man. That's a good one. That's a good one. Eric Brown, thank you so much for joining the show, man. It's been a pleasure
I
rooting for you this
appreciate
year.
you.
I think I can speak for the entire Prospects Live staff. We're a huge fan of you. We'll be out this year, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.